Welcome to Napkin Theology. Today, let's discuss a really important question. How did we get our English Bible? Well, one important step in this process was the canonization of the New Testament. Canon simply means a rule or measure. The process of recognizing which early writings really were Scripture began in the 2nd century as church leaders began to discuss this. And by the 5th century, letters were circulating that had finalized the list of the New Testament canon. Early church leaders looked for 3 qualities in particular writings that would help them recognize them as Scripture. The first of these qualities was a wide geographic distribution, which we can represent by drawing planet Earth. In other words, early church leaders looked for books that were used across the Christian community. Next, early church leaders looked for books that were apostolic in origin, or 1st century documents. Why the emphasis on 1st century? Well, church leaders wanted documents that were connected to those who were eyewitnesses to the resurrected Christ. Essentially, these are primary sources. And so, books today that haven't made the canon, such as the Gospel of Judas, were not rejected out of some sort of conspiracy, but simply because they were not 1st century documents. And finally, in order to make the final list, the writings had to be non-contradictory, which we can represent by saying A cannot equal non-A. In other words, the documents within the New Testament canon could not contradict each other. And so, we have our 3 tests for the New Testament canon. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Napkin Theology, where we help you better understand and communicate your faith using simply a napkin and a pen. And be sure to visit our home, napkinvideo.com.